All right. Hey, good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeremy Deysach, and I am a Credilife FICO certified credit coach. I'm also the founder of this here free credit repair advice group, and I would like to welcome each and every one of you out there to Facebook Live. This is something we do. I do it every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific time, right here on Facebook in the free credit repair advice group and on Credit TV, CRE, I just spaced CREDITV on YouTube. So the Free Credit Repair Advice Group on Facebook and Credit TV on YouTube. You can join me every Monday night as we cover different credit topics, things that are pertinent to you, different credit educational topics. And tonight, we're going to be talking about how to get rid of collections, best practices for taking on and taking care of collections. So what we're going to do is we're going to let the room fill up just a little bit. Now, if you would like me to answer any credit questions of any kind that you have, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and so I know who you are, I want you to go ahead and click on at the top of the video here, at the top of the video in Facebook, you'll see there's a little link, and that little link is going to authorize my software that I use for broadcasting to catch your name, so that I'll be able to pop it right up. I can answer your questions and things like that. So I'm going to have a full live Q&A session at the end of this, and you can ask any credit questions you may have. They don't have to be about collections, but our topic tonight is how to get rid of collections. But what you'll want to do is you'll want to go ahead and click on that StreamYard.com/Facebook and authorize, grant StreamYard permission to see your name, and I'll be able to pop your question right up on here. So tonight, let's get this refreshed. So tonight, we're going to talk about how to get rid of collections, how to make collections go away, and what the best practices are to do this. Okay. So when it comes to collections, there are a number of different types of collections that you may have to deal with. And collections all have some things in common, and collections all have some differences between the different types that are out there. Some of the commonalities, some of the things that are in common are, when a collection becomes a real collection, that's when it gets charged off, perhaps by the credit card company. That's when it may get sold to a collection company. That's when a collection company may be brought on to collect on behalf of the original creditor. Now, in these circumstances, that collection company is called a third party creditor, because you got you, right? You're you, right? And you've got the people you borrowed money from, or maybe the hospital that you got services from, or maybe the phone company that you had a cell phone through, etc. So you got that company, and then you've got a collection agent that got involved. So they're called a third party creditor, and that's an important thing. There's a special letter that's used for third party creditors. We're going to get into that as well. So again, we're going to let this fill up. While it's filling up, I'm going to throw in a quick plug. If you'd like to have a professional credit coach, if you'd like to have me as your coach, you can actually book a consultation with me to hire Credilife by going to www.bookcoachjd.com and fill in your name, et cetera, pick a time that works for you, day, evening. I even have some Saturday morning times available for a credit discovery call. Now, there's no cost for the call. It is to find out if you're a good candidate for Credilife, to find out everything about it, and if it looks like something that's good for you, get it going. So during a discovery call, what I do is I talk to you and I say, okay, tell me about what's going on with your credit, what are your goals, and what prompted you to reach out. Then we talk about services, and we put together a plan and steps and action items and get you enrolled in the services to get your score and profile in position for the goals you've got. So to book that credit discovery call, www.bookcoachjd.com. All right, back to it. So this is how to deal with, how to get rid of, how to make collections go away. All right. First thing you have to understand. So we've got our credit report, right? and we've got what shows up on our credit report. That is a history of our willingness and ability to repay in a timely fashion. And then we've got debt. That's the actual money maybe we borrowed, or the money we owe on a bill, or the money that somebody out in the great big wide world feels is due to them. And that is the money that we're going to be dealing with as far as settlements and things like that. So these are two separate items, debt and credit, and they should be dealt with as such, dealt with as two separate items. So I'm going to get rid of a couple myths right now. I'm going to get rid of a couple things you may have heard as far as how to handle collections, and we're going to roll forward from there. So we're going to take a sample collection. We're going to start with a sample medical collection. How many of you out there, give me a show of likes or a show of hands or a show of something. How many of you out there have ever heard of HIPAA? How many of you have heard of HIPAA? Now, how many of you have heard that a medical collection is a HIPAA violation? They're sharing your information and you didn't give them permission to put the information on your credit or to call you or to send you a letter about it, and that's a HIPAA violation. How many of you have heard that? Okay, show of hands. All right, sadly, it's not a HIPAA violation. That's all wrong. That's all literal made up fantasy by people who don't understand credit or aren't actual credit professionals. The thing is, HIPAA itself is a set of privacy laws. All right. It allows for the sharing of information for what are called regular business purposes. There is no more regular a business purpose for a billing department of a hospital or a clinic or a doctor's office. There is no more regular purpose in sharing info than for billing. That is literally one of the only things they do. They give the medical treatment and they bill. You got the medical treatment, now they're going to bill, and they're going to attempt to get paid. Well, sharing and passing that information on to the collection companies is an approved act. It's part of it. When you sign stuff at the beginning, I promise you at intake, there was small print allowing the sharing of that information. But B, HIPAA itself, the laws that protect patient privacy specifically allow it. So if you're hearing, hey, where can I get HIPAA letters? Or you should try this HIPAA letter. It's not real. It's not, if anything gets to, but I tried it, it worked for me. That's because they didn't respond. The letter wasn't the reason. What it said in that letter about HIPAA wasn't the reason. So medical collections, they're not a HIPAA violation. The next thing we're going to cross is this. A lot of people will hop into the group, the Free Credit Repair Advice group on Facebook. So if you're watching us on YouTube, on Credit TV, Free Credit Repair Advice group, it's something you'll definitely want to join on Facebook. It's got 73,000 people in it. You can't miss it. A lot of people come into the Facebook group and go, hey, I got these collections, medical collections, whatever collections. Where can I find a pay for delete letter? I got to start. I want to get them. Where can I do a pay for delete letter? And I want to get rid of these. I want to do pay for delete. Okay. First of all, with medical collections and any other type of collection, while paying on the debt is a step in the process from a credit standpoint, if you're looking to get your score and your profile and position to achieve some sort of goal, maybe it's home ownership, maybe it's buying a car, maybe it's being able to finance your way out of a paper bag for the first time in your life, right? If you're looking to accomplish a goal, if you're looking to get somewhere, while paying on a collection might be a step in the process from a credit standpoint, it's never the first step. The first step is going to be to investigate these things with the credit bureaus, investigate the reporting of these collections with the credit bureaus. So we're going to go back and we're going to use we're back into medical collections. All right. So let's say we've got a $500 doctor bill that we didn't pay it. Maybe we didn't know about it. Maybe we thought we had insurance or insurance was supposed to bill and they didn't. And God knows what happened. We didn't pay it. That's fine. So we've got this $500 bill. The clinic eventually sold it to ABC Medical Collections Company, Inc. Okay. So ABC has put this on our credit. ABC has sent us letters. ABC has called us on the phone and bugged us and said, how do you plan to take care of this debt? And ABC is acting as a third-party creditor. Now, remember we said the medical company sold it. They don't always sell it. Sometimes ABC gets hired on by the medical company, by the doctor's office, to collect on this debt on their behalf. Either way, ABC Medical Collections, Inc. is a third-party debt collector, okay? So, remember what I said. The first step is pay to delete, right? Wrong. It's not. It's to investigate. Remember, we want to use the HIPAA letter, right? Wrong. No, HIPAA, that's fantasy. What we want to do is we want to use two different letters for different things. Remember, I said credit and debt. Credit is your history and willingness to, it's your ability and willingness to repay in a timely fashion laid out in a record format, your credit report. And debt, well, that's the money owed. That's the $500 that the medical company would like to get paid on. Thus, they have incorporated ABC Medical Collection, Inc. into that, okay? So since there's two different things, the credit and the debt, we're going to hit it from two different angles. Investigation for the credit, validation for the debt, okay? And I'm going to explain the difference. We're going to start off with investigation. Investigation is going directly to Equifax, to Experian, and to TransUnion, and contacting them through written correspondence, contacting them by writing letters, old school snail mail paper letters. Actually, you're not going to be like this because you're going to get cramped. You're going to be like that, and you're going to type it up, and you're going to print it out, and you're going to sign the bottom, and you're going to send it off to Equifax, to Experian, to TransUnion. You're going to send it to every credit bureau that ABC Medical Collection, Inc. has reported to. And this letter is going to very simply, essentially, if I want to break it down the most simple, it's going to say, verify this. Verify this information. You're saying I owe ABC Medical, Inc. You're saying I owe Bob's Doctor and Taxidermy Service that I originally went to. You're saying I owe them $500. I need you to verify that that's the amount. I need you to verify this date you published. I need you to verify that it's me. Verify you've got the right address, the social. Verify that's the account number. Verify this is when I went. Verify, verify, verify. And if they can't verify and verify and verify and verify and verify upon demand the way they're supposed to within a particular constraint of time frame, then by law, ABC Medical Collection, Inc. has to be deleted, gone permanently from the credit report. Doesn't mean the debt's gone. Remember, credit and debt, these are two separate things. But we're doing investigation to the credit report saying, verify this, verify this, verify this. And if they don't verify, it gets automatically deleted. Okay, so that's one of the letters that we're going to send. The other kind of letter isn't investigation. It's not verification. The other kind of letter is validation. Validation goes after the money, okay? Verification, investigation, goes after the credit report. Validate, money. Verify the info published. Validate the amount owed. Verify what the dates and things are published. Validate that it's my debt. It better be a valid debt before I pay you. Verify that you got your info printed right over at the credit bureaus. Okay, see the difference? So you may have heard of something called a 609 letter. 609 letter is a fancy technical numerical name for a validation letter. It comes from section 609 of the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That is the set of laws that have to do with reporting to credit, okay? So we're going to send our verification letters off. They're going to Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Now we're going to send a validation letter directly to that third-party debt collector. That's that ABC Medical Collections, Inc., right? And we're going to demand, look, show me stuff. Listen, ABC, show me proof I owe this money. Show me proof that is my debt. Show me that. Show me that treatment was done. Show me, show me, show me, show me, show me. Now, we can't go back and go, ha, you verified it without my permission. It's a HIPAA violation. No, you literally demanded they show you when you sent the letter. So your verification letter, it's going off to the bureaus. Validation, your 609 letter goes directly to creditor. But I heard 609 goes to the credit bureaus. Wrong. That's people who don't understand how credit works and how credit being a credit pro works. So we send our verification letter off. We send our validation letter off. Now they got different time frames involved. Okay, verification. That's the one that goes to the credit bureaus. When you send your verification letter, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, they receive that sucker. They legally have 5 business days to notify the creditor that they must provide the verification of whatever was asked in the letter about the publication of the debt. Okay, the creditor has 30 calendar days to respond back to the bureau, not to you, because you technically didn't ask them. It has to respond back to the bureau within 30 days with the verification. Now, if they fail to respond back to the bureau in 30 days or less, if they fail to respond at all, or if what they respond with does not satisfy the specificity and the minutia of the little tiny thing about that account you asked about, then by law, it's permanently deleted. It's deemed unverifiable and permanently deleted, gone from the credit bureau. But can't I do this electronically on Credit Karma or My FICO or on Experian app? No, you can't. Well, you can, but you're an idiot if you do. And if you're offended by me saying that, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. I'm not calling you an idiot. I'm just saying this is not the way to do it. So if you do this stuff electronically, it can get taken off, and it's not deleted. It's removed. Well, something you remove, you can put back. If it's deleted, it's gone. You don't have anything to put back. But if it's removed, it can be reinstated, right? So the way the electronic thing works is if you get it removed from the credit, the very next time that ABC Medical Collection, Inc. reports, it'll pop right back on. And that's perfectly legal. But we want permanent deletions, right? Right. That's why we're only doing this through written letters. By the way, I heard you should handwrite the letter, because then the computer can't read it and the live human it. BS. Computers can read handwriting, okay? And if it's too messy, it gets thrown out as frivolous. So you lose or you lose, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I heard you should write it in colored pen and ink and different inks because they can't read colors. Wrong, they can read colors. I heard you're supposed to use colored paper. Wrong, you're not supposed to use colored paper. It can read colored paper. I heard you're supposed to send them certified. Well, you're sending them to a post office box. And the signature that post office box gives you, if you ever find a post office box that can sign its name, I'm going to run screaming from the damn thing because it's become sentient, it's alive, and it's probably going to take us all over and do Skynet and Terminator and all that stuff. Okay? We don't professionally send them certified. We send this much certified. Hundreds of thousands of these we send 0 certified professionally. So I'm telling you, when you're doing yours yourself for free, you're doing it on your own, use a stamp. But if you do insist on spending $6 or whatever it costs to send certified to each of these bureaus, what I'd like you to do is use a stamp, take the remaining money for all 3 bureaus, put it into an envelope, and send it to Credilife, attention Jeremy, Burnsville, Minnesota 55337 is pizza money. All right, use a stamp. So we're sending our investigation letters to the bureaus. They've got 30 days and respond back. It's up permanently deleted. Now the bureaus go ahead and they send you results. Typically 7 to 10 business days for the results. So a cycle of investigation with the credit bureaus takes about 45 days, give or take, with mailing time. Okay. We're sending off our investigations. Our validations that we're sending directly to the third-party creditor. The third-party creditor legally has 30 days to respond back to your request. Now, shouldn't I send it certified for the 30 days? Again, I don't ever professionally send them that way and never have. And look at me, I'm pretty successful, right? So you're going to send these things off. And what you're asking for, again, is show me stuff, show me proof, give me bills, invoices, maybe terms of the agreement, something to validate that this is indeed my debt, it's the amount that's owed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they've got 30 days to respond back with that, okay? So step 1 with a collection is to investigate. It's to investigate. It's to investigate. Where does pay for delete come in? It doesn't. It's like plan Z, all right? So let's say we investigate. And I've got videos and we've got articles and other coaches have videos on the investigative process. But let's say we do our investigations, we do our validations, our 609 letters, the thing gets deleted from the credit report. Gone like it never happened. Fantastic. All right. So now how do we handle the debt? Well, this is the time that we then contact the third-party creditor because they're the ones who are actively collecting on it. Well, I heard you're never supposed to pay a collection company. You should always go to the original. Just play it where it's at. They've got it. They got the records. They're the ones who are looking to make a commission and wheel and deal. Okay, so you're going to call them up, and you're going to say, I'm interested in settling ABC Medical Collection Inc. I'm interested in settling this collection that you say I've got with you. And they go, yes, what's your name? What's your last four of your social? And you give it to them. It's not, you're not revalidating something. You're not restarting a clock. You're not doing any of those things that a lot of people who aren't actual credit professionals will tell you that you're doing. Okay. So you give them the info and they go, okay, it says here you owe us $500. How would you like to take care of that? And you go, here's the thing. I said, settle. I'm willing to give you $241.39 to settle this. Immediately, that collection agent, oh, this is fun. Watch. Ah! All right. That's what would happen if I was on a ship and started sinking. But what really happened was I didn't tighten the camera mount. Okay, so thank you. Special effects, absolutely free. So what you're gonna do is you're call up and go, look, I'm giving you I can give you $241.39 or 37 cents or some oddball number, right? Immediately, that collection agent is gonna grab their calculator and try to figure out what percentage you're offering them. Because people go, I heard you're supposed to start at 30%. I heard you're supposed to start at 40%. I heard you're supposed to offer pennies on the dollar, pennies on the. Stop saying pennies on the dollar. For the love of God and all things holy, you want a credit pro to cringe, say pennies on the dollar. They don't buy it for pennies on the dollar, okay? Unless you consider like 30 pennies, just pennies on the dollar. You know what I mean? So they're gonna go what 24.71%. Why that number? And you're going to say on the phone, you're going to go, because that's what I have. You know, I got a check. This is what I have. Or I got this money. This is what I have. I can pay you. And I got a couple other debts. I'm going to pay you or I'm going to pay them. And I don't give a crap which one I pay because I only get enough for one of you. And they may come back, oh, we can only take the full $5. We can only come down $5. And you go, well, what happens if I don't pay you? And they'll always say the same thing. We will remain on your credit, and it will be a negative, and it'll stand in the way. And that's where you go, here's the thing. You couldn't even do that right. You've already been deleted from the credit report because you couldn't verify, you couldn't validate, you couldn't document that the information you were reporting was accurate and factual and current, correct, and verifiable as of today. And so it's been deleted under federal law. I'm just trying to settle up this loose end, but I'm willing to send the money elsewhere. All of a sudden, you've got power in the negotiation. You've got power. You've got something they want, and they don't have anything you want. They don't have a damn thing you want. Well, why would I pay it? So they don't sue you. But they don't have a thing you want. Now, a lot of people go, oh, you'll just go for pay for delete. I heard Midland does pay for delete. I heard Portfolio does pay for delete. You just do pay for delete. Well, if you go in to do a pay for delete, and that's what you're trying to talk about first, they know all kinds of crap about you. They know you're in a hurry. They know something's urgent. They know they've got something that you want. They're holding your credit hostage. And that is why pay for delete is never the first step. Here's another reason that pay for delete is never the first step. If you call them and go, I'll give you a 70% on this if you delete it, and they go, no, we want the whole thing. Well, I can't give you the whole thing right now. We want the whole thing. I can't do that. Bye. Well, if you get off the phone with them, you've literally told them you have money, and then you've turned around and told them you're not willing to pay them. That's a refusal to pay. Most intelligent collection agents at the companies will immediately refer it to legal to get you sued. So by thinking you were going to do a pay for delete and be all slick because you heard it in a group somewhere, you're going to get sued. That is a very likely outcome. And you got to think for the worst. I mean, you got to think of the worst. What's the worst thing that can happen? You can get sued. Well, don't do that then, especially when you're going to end up settling for more because they got something you want. So you're going to pay too much on this debt if you're trying to do a pay for delete, or you might trigger them to sue you. That's great. Good job. Okay. So that's, again, why that is never the first step. The first step's always investigation. So we talked about medical debts. Third-party debt collector, and you got the first party, that was the medical clinic, right? We talked about verification versus validation. Verification letters to investigate with the credit bureaus. Validation, 609 letters to validate with the third-party debt collectors. I'll stop for a second. Does this make sense so far? Does this make sense to you guys? Anyone watching, give me some ones in chat, or give me something. Give me a thumbs up so I got some kind of interaction, some kind of input, so that I know this is making sense to you. All right. So I'm going to go into other kinds of collections. So what other kinds of collections are there? Man, there's all kinds of other collections. You got student loans, you got credit cards, you got utility bills you didn't pay, you got cell phone bills, you've got perfect. Thanks, you guys. I literally have no idea how many people are watching me at a given point in time. I have no clue. So before I go into this other kind of collection, I'm going to give the quick plug. If you'd like to have me as your coach, really doing custom wow, I am having the greatest technical stuff tonight. And we're going to see it. Focus on my hand, bring it back, and focus on. Look at that. Ain't it gorgeous? No, so if you'd like to have me as your coach, just go to www, just see on the bottom there, www.bookcoachjd.com, www.bookcoachjd.com, and pick a day, an evening, a Saturday morning that works well for you. We'll do a discovery call. We'll talk about what's on your credit, talk about your goals, put together a plan, steps, action items, and get you enrolled in the services needed so that you can achieve all your goals when it comes to your credit. www.bookcoachjd.com. All right, so the next type of collection I would say is pretty much a consumer debt collection. This is going to be your credit card. This is going to be your line of credit. Maybe you leased something from somewhere, or something like that. You rented something and you owe some money. These consumer lines of credit, stuff like that, these consumer debts, typically the easiest to settle, and will typically settle for less than things like medical debts, which have actual costs involved, or rental debts, which have actual monthly rental payments that they're trying to catch up on, or maybe a car repossession where there's an actual vehicle that didn't get paid off. So things like credit cards, stuff like that, same process. You verify, you investigate with the credit bureaus, you validate in 609 letters, same letter template. Should I tell you where to get them? If you go to the top of the page, you'll find an announcements section. Also at the top of the page, you'll find a files section. Use either announcements or files. What you're looking for is an article called Pro Tips. Pro Tip. It's an article I wrote. It's got links to the letter templates for you, all for free, and step-by-step directions on how to run a self-driven credit repair. So Pro Tip. If you haven't checked it out, I would check it out. All right, so you're going to send your letters off. You're basically going to do the same thing. You're going to say verify, 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 validate, validate, validate. And as you get that deleted, it might take multiple rounds. You might have to do more than one letter. You might have to ask about different stuff. You didn't get in trouble with credit overnight. You likely didn't. You're not getting out overnight. Not if you're doing this real, right, and permanently. So you get it deleted, and it's the same situation. You call them up. Now, you'll find that these consumer accounts, your Visa cards, there are companies that will do a pay for delete, and that should be the last resort. Okay, why wouldn't you get all the negotiation power and stuff like that first so you pay less money? I don't get it. I don't get why people would ever think to do it the other way, but some do, and bless their hearts, as they say in the South. I learned what that meant because people kept saying it to me. So you're going to seek to get this thing deleted. You're going to call Midland. You're going to call Portfolio Recovery. You're going to call Enhanced Recovery. You're going to call all these places, and you're going to negotiate your settlements. And if you've tried your best and failed miserably and haven't gotten it deleted, at least on those cases, a lot of times, yes, you can get the pay for deletion. So One other reason we don't want to start with pay for deletion. Most companies don't do it. It's a blatant violation of their contract with their credit reporting services. They literally, to report to credit under the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you are saying that this is accurate information. You're swearing under federal law this is accurate information. When you go back to delete a layer, just kidding. No, that's why most won't do it. They can lose their credit reporting over it. It's a bad thing for them. And they're not willing to lose that for you. You're not that important to them. It's not to be mean. It's just in the scheme of things. All right. So the consumer credit, a lot easier to get rid of. Things like rental credit and stuff like that. So like if you've got an unlawful detainer from the landlord, if you've got a repossession, believe it or not, same damn letters. Investigation with the bureaus, validation direct with the creditor. The reason I set that aside is it might take a little bit more savvy negotiating because those dollar amounts tend to be higher, but that can also really financially play in your favor. All right, so we've gone over some of the collections, how to do it right. What's the first step? Is the first step verify and validate, or is the first step call them up and see if you can do a pay for delete, right? Do it on their website. Send them a letter for pay for delete. Oh God, yeah, put it in writing. Put it in writing you won't pay unless they follow your rules, which you didn't follow the ones to begin, the rules to begin with by paying the bills. Why would they believe you? So does this all make sense? All right, real quick. Tyler says, how much to sign up for credit help? Thanks. Well, that's a good question. All right, I'm going to give you like the breakdown because it depends if it's you, a couple, kind of how we're doing it. So I'm just going to throw it in chat if that's cool, or in the there we go, in the comment section. That's what I meant. I'm going to throw that into the comments section. Of course, when I go to look for it, it's of course extremely hard to find because it would be too easy if it was right there, wouldn't it? All right, here, let me get that there. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to post that comment. Bada bing. Wow, that turned out to a string of comments, but that's the whole thing. All right. So what types of credit questions do you guys have? I'm going to open up the floor. Past collections into whatever. What types of questions do you have about your own credit journey, credit reports, anything like that? I want to open it up, give you the opportunity, if you do have a credit question, to go ahead and ask it, and I can answer that for you. Otherwise, I literally will wrap this up kind of soon because I just got the second COVID shot last Friday. And holy crap, it felt like someone dropped me off a building. It was, I tell you what, guys, go get it. It's important. Yes, we get it. We know that, but be prepared. All right. It looks like we're not getting any questions in tonight, which is fine. It's usually really mellow the day after a holiday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up a little bit. So when it comes to collections, when it comes to how to handle them, how to do it right, the first step is verify, validate, and investigate that the information's accurate and it's factual and it's current and it's correct. It's verifiable as of today. And you're going to investigate with the credit bureaus. You're going to verify with the credit bureaus. You're going to validate with the third-party collectors, the collection agencies. You're going to use the 609 letter with the third-party collection agencies. Are we going to call them up and ask them to pay for delete? Not unless we've tried multiple rounds of investigations and they've all failed. Why not just do that first? Because you'll pay more money. Why not just do that first? Because if you don't give them the money right away, you've effectively told them that you're refusing to pay. Well, that doesn't make sense. Well, then let's do the investigations first, all right? Now, when the time comes to negotiate, how are we going to negotiate? We're going to go low and with an oddball amount of money because they're going to immediately think you're playing the game. Playing the game, you heard, you should start at 30%. So if you go and call them up and you think you're clever and you're like, I owe you $1,000. I'll give you $300 for it today if we'll settle it. That's 30%, dude. We paid more than that. But if you go, I'll give you $251.39. They're going to go, that's a really odd number. Why? And you say, because that's all I have. Suddenly they're going to be a little bit more apt to go, this guy's got no money. You like had a very like that'll empty my checkbook till payday. Well, will you get more on payday? Not for you. So that's an option. Oh, here's a question. Uh, is it Steven? I'm gonna go with Steven. And if I'm murdering your name, Steven, I apologize. What do you do if something falls off your credit report after 7 years and comes back from another agency? Awesome, awesome. You send the new agency. You send the new agency a 7. Oh, perfect. 7. Love it, man. You send the credit bureaus and the agency a letter saying this is outside of the statute of limitations to report. This is outside, and if it's at 7 years, that's stat for all the states in the U.S. This is outside of the statute of limitations to collect. I demand deletion and that you cease pursuit of this debt, or else I'll start contacting like legal authorities and regulatory things, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. It's a pain in everyone's butt. My butt, your butt, everyone's butt. Let's have happy butts. And let's just follow the statutes of limitations. Yeah, great question. I love it. That's a wonderful one. Yeah, if there's a statute of limitations for collections to report on your credit report, and that is 7 years and up to 180 days from the date of first delinquency. So when you went 30 days late, that's the date of first delinquency. So that's when the clock starts ticking. And they're allowed to report that for 7 years and 180 days. What they tried to do to you is called re-aging, and re-aging is stupidly illegal. So when you start threatening, I mean, you can, if they want, what you want is it gone. You're not trying to get rich off this re-aging. But you could hit them with, look, if I contact the consumer rights attorney, this is going to cost you some money. And they know that. Cease and desist collection. This is outside the statute of limitations. Hey, credit bureaus, this is outside the statute of limitations. Demand deletion. Wonderful. Said, man. Like that was like, I swear to God, I think you'd work for us. That was a really good, poignant, topical question. I love it, man. That was awesome. Enjoyed the group. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up here, you guys. Like I said, I got my second COVID shot on Friday. I've been feeling funky ever since. So if you would like to have me as your coach, there's a scroll across the bottom tells you where to go. Go to www.bookcoachjd.com, and you can pick a day, an evening, even a Saturday morning for a discovery call. We'll talk about what's on your credit, talk about your goals, put together a plan, steps, action items, and get you enrolled in the services to get you to those goals. Again, I'm Jeremy Deysach. I'm a FICO certified credit coach with Credilife Financial Wellness. I'm the founder of the free credit repair advice group that you're in right now. And I invite you to join me. If you're joining me on YouTube on Credit TV, CREDI-TV, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And if you're watching on Facebook, the free credit repair advice group on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube and then you're hearing about Facebook for the first time, it's the one with 73,000 people. And man, I'm spinning in circles here. No matter what, join me Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific time for the daily credit report. Thanks a lot, y'all. Stay healthy and safe. Get your shots, but make sure you got like nothing major planned right after it. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.